Hey everybody, welcome to the Family League. Um, this is going to be our app we are using. It's called the Sleeper app. You can go to sleeper.com or click on that link, and this is what it looks like on my computer. I'm not 100% sure how it looks on your phone because whenever I've done drafts, I've just done it on my laptop. I encourage you to do that. But you're going to see here it says our draft starts at 8 p.m. That gives you a little countdown clock, right? Um, and then here's the teams, right? So you got me, and the rest of us. There's four people that have not signed in. But here's what it is. How this website works is you're going to see here's your team, which this will have all the people after the draft. This year, what we're going to do is I did it last year with another friend of mine in this league, and I liked it a lot better. So we're going to do no kicker and no defense, and we're going to add a flex. Now, you might be asking, Kenny, what's a flex? In your roster, you're going to have a quarterback. You're going to have a couple running backs. You're going to have 3 wide receivers. You're going to have a tight end. And then you're going to have flex. These could be either a wide receiver, running back, or tight end. It could be any one of those things. They are called a flex player. They just have to fit one of those criteria. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bench players that you can have. Here's how this will work: is tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We're going to do a draft. I'm going to show you what a mock draft looks like. This will look almost exactly like what tomorrow is. I encourage you to do this if you want to do a mock draft, just to kind of practice and learn the tools. I highly encourage you to do that. But here's what it will look like. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m., what it's going to do, it's going to randomize an order of teams up here. For the sake of tonight, let's say I'm number 3. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is the computer is going to be the rest of them. But for the sake of me just showing you how this website works, we're just going to have the computer be the rest of the teams. On this website, you're going to notice a couple things. Right here, it's going to tell you, it's going to say 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, and a tight end, and then 3 of those flex players. At the end of the night, here's what I'm going to highly encourage. You have 5 bench players, right? So you're actually going to want 2 quarterbacks, 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and then you're going to want like maybe another flex player or another wide receiver. But you don't want to actually have just 1 quarterback. You want to have 2 because you're going to want a backup quarterback. And I'll explain a little bit of the reason why later. I'll explain it now. You're going to see this. So Ja'Marr Chase, he plays for the Cincinnati. They have a bye week on week 10. Now, Ja'Marr Chase, he's a wide receiver. That means when we get to week 10, he's not going to play and he's not going to earn me any points on my team. So I'm going to want another wide receiver like, I'm not going to, there's no way you're going to get Ja'Marr Chase and Justin Jefferson, but let's say for the sake of this example, you did. I'm going to want another wide receiver who has at least a bye week that's not on week 10, so I could play him. So I could take him from my bench and start him on my team. And I'll explain how you do that later in a different video. But for the draft for tomorrow night, what you're going to do is you're going to draft. Now, the computer or this website is going to give you some suggestions. Right here, it's always going to give you the suggestion of the highest project points player. This year, in almost every draft, Ja'Marr Chase is going to be the highest projected points person. This is because last year he scored a ridiculous amount of touchdowns and got a lot of yards, right? So you're going to see that. If through the draft, let's say you're going through the draft and you're saying, I need a QB. You can click on QB, and then you're saying, I want the one with the highest projected points. Maybe you're like, I want the most, one that had the most receiving touchdown. It will actually rearrange the order based off of that. If you don't click on anything, it will just tell you who it thinks is the best quarterback. Same thing with running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and flex, right? And flex, again, it's just all those different players, right? What we could have done instead of having 3 flex players is you could have just had 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. We just call it flex. It gives a little flexibility with what you want to do. Now, throughout the draft, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to add people to your queue. So if I click on this little sheet with a player, it'll bring them over to the queue. Now, as people are drafting, what I highly suggest is you scroll down and you look for different people that are maybe are not on your roster. So for instance, maybe I drafted a QB, but I need some running backs. What I can do is I can go over here to my running back and I could say, oh man, I really want Josh Jacobs, right? And I can add them to my queue. Then when I'm in my queue, I could rearrange people depending on why I want them. Then you could do this thing called auto pick. Now, I'm going to suggest this. If you're like, Kenny, I have zero clue. I don't really watch football that often. I have zero clue who to pick. You can click auto pick, and all the computer will do is it will fill what your roster how it thinks it should do based off the highest amount of projected points, right? And it will just pick for you. So if you're like, Kenny, I don't want to try to figure things out, just click auto pick and the computer will do it for you. I don't suggest doing that. I think drafting is super fun. But if you're really like, I just don't know, you can do that. If you want to know about players, you can click on this. It will tell you like, hey, this is how he's done. This is analysis. It will even tell you the depth chart. I like using the depth chart once I get down to round. You're going to see this is round 2, round 3, round 4. I like using that when I get down to like here. Because you'll see a bunch of people that honestly you probably won't even know who they are, right? Like once we get down to like here. And you'll be like, who is Joel Noah? Okay, he plays for Houston. Well, where is he at even on the depth chart? Well, he's second string for the wide receiver 3. Okay, I don't want to pick him, right? But it just gives you a little bit more about the players, right? Let me scroll the back. Let me show you how the draft is going to work. Okay, so I'm going to start a mock draft right now. And what's going to do is it's going to give you 2 minutes. Now, again, these are computers, so it's automatically choosing for them the top 2 players, right? It's going to give you 2 minutes. Now, if you click that auto pick, it will not give you 2 minutes, right? What it will do is it will automatically pick the next best person that you need on your roster, right? But if I'm not auto picking and I'm like, man, I want to pick. Personally, I think this dude's overrated. That's just me. And I think Jahmyr Gibbs I think he's a boss, right? So let's say I choose him, right? He's now on my team. I'm going to mute that because that's just an annoying sound. Now notice one thing. You notice how it's going down, right? So this might say Andrea, Mike, me, Fred, Kelsey, right? It's going to go down the line. Now, if you're team number 10, what's going to end up happening is you're going to pick twice because it's going to get to the end. You're going to pick, and then you get to pick again, and it's going to go this way. Same thing when we get down here. Team number 1's going to pick, and then he gets to pick again. You get 2 picks really back to back. And then again, I got 2 minutes to make my pick. It will not go that fast because, again, these are the computers, but you'll see over here, I have a running back. Sweet. I need a tight end. So I can go over here to tight ends. I really want Brock Bauer. Boom. Fills it out for me. Typically in drafts, if you never drafted before, what will go first is running backs and wide receivers. This is pretty rare that a quarterback goes in second, but it has happened. Right? But you're just filling out your roster, right? I could go over here. Oh, I really want a quarterback. The computer is saying you should pick up a quarterback. That's what the computer's telling me. I agree with the computer. Maybe I should because Josh Allen was taken. So I'm going to pick him. I'm just going to click that green arrow. Now, as this is going, let's say I'm like, man, I really need a wide receiver. I'm going to go, I really want DJ Metcalf, right? All these people, right? You're going to notice now they're in my queue. And so when it comes to me, I could do a couple things. I can now go to my queue and say, oh, sweet. I don't need to like look for players in my 2 minutes. I can do that while other people are drafting and just put them in my queue. And I can say, I really want DJ Metcalf. I'm not picking right now how I actually will pick tomorrow. So don't like take this. I'm just picking random people a little bit. But that's where you can go over here, flex. It's going to say get Alvin Kamara, sweet. And you just get it, right? Now, as people are picking, so you're going to notice somebody picked that. They removed it from my queue, right? Now, here, I'm going to show you what happens. If you're like, Kenny, I don't care. I just want the computer to pick for me. Click auto pick, and it will pick for you. And what you're going to notice the computer's going to do, it's going to fill out the chart for you, right? And that's all it's going to do. If you don't auto pick, here's what's going to happen. This is going to run for 2 minutes. And then at the end of the 2 minutes, the computer will pick for you. Don't be that person that we have to wait 2 minutes for the computer to pick. Just hit the auto pick. Again, I think, okay, so at some point we're going to start picking bench players. Okay, I told you all that. Once you're done with your draft, with your mock draft, what will end up happening is it will show up here in your team profile. And then the league, what will end up happening when you click on league, it will actually show you who's going to get who in XYZ. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I believe it will tell us our random order 10 minutes before the draft. So there's that. Straw View Titans, that's funny. I think that's it. If you have any questions, though, seriously, feel free to reach out to me. I'll try to explain it the best I can. Otherwise, we're just going to do it online. And good luck to all of you.